Hey everybody, welcome back to High Five Resale Shop. My name is Derek, and I've been selling on eBay for the last 20 years. And in this channel, go through some of the things that sold over the weekend for me, so that you can be on the lookout for them when you go out to garage sales. If you're a reseller to sell on eBay, I had a pretty good weekend this weekend. It was, if I recall, I think it was the 15th weekend, so a lot of people got paychecks and stuff. So they spent money on eBay this weekend, which is good. We sold, um, well, that total is going to be kind of off there. Let's see here. 15 minus 1,000. Sold about $500 on eBay this weekend. The reason it's difficult for me to figure that out, the numbers right there at the top of the screen, but we sold a Stickley bed frame on eBay, and that person's still trying to figure out arrangements on how to ship it to Florida. So it's in my awaiting shipment part, and therefore the total is a little bit off. We sold that bed for $975, plus whatever the shipping is going to cost for that person. And I need to reach out to that person today and see how it's going on figuring out the shipping on that. But that was last week, and then over the weekend we sold a set of end tables, Stickley end tables, for $500 out of the storage locker, and that was a good sale as well. So the things that sold on eBay, a lot of CDs that sold over the weekend. Last Friday, I put up, I think, about 50 CDs. The day before, I may have put up like 20 CDs and some flip-flops and sandals and stuff like that. I recently purchased a membership to List Perfectly, so that I could cross-list stuff to other websites. I was gonna try Vinted because it seemed like they were advertising a lot, but I think they were advertising a lot because they're starting from scratch in the U.S. and it's in the U.K. It's a thing in the U.K., but it's not a thing in the U.S. And I got spammed a bunch of stuff, and I didn't feel safe, so I unlisted all the stuff I had there, and I just went with Poshmark for right now. I'm gonna try and figure that out, and then I'll probably move into another category, whether that's Etsy or Mercari. I'm not quite sure, but I'm gonna try and figure out Poshmark first. Had some people view some items, but I haven't had anything bought from Poshmark yet, and I only have about 20 items in my closet, so I'll need to grab the links for that and add it to my link tree kind of information and stuff like that. But anyway, we sold a bunch of CDs because I put up CDs. When you when you list things in a specific area, you tend to sell things in that specific area. They'll try and push you forward in the area that you've done some work in. eBay and the algorithm will do that for you. So only one of the items that I put up actually sold. It's kind of normal that there's like one thing that somebody's been looking for and had on a watch list or something like that. But let's go through the things that sold. The first thing is the Stephanie Mills CD. I probably put this up 2 weeks ago, and it sold for it's one of my newer listings because it's sold for $14.99 with free shipping. So the new stuff that I've been putting up, I've been putting it up for free ship. And the reason for that was I had a discussion with a friend who is one of the top video game sellers in eBay, and he was asking me what I did, and I told him, and he's like, you're eliminating yourself from left-hand navigation when you do plus shipping. And I was like, huh, that's interesting, and I never really thought about it that way. But if somebody's like looking for free ship, and they punch that in, then if you have calculated shipping, whether you're lower priced than them or higher priced than them, you're just not going to show up. And then if the customer is not savvy and listing from low to high on the page, then they might not. I mean, as a calculated shipping, you you're not going to be on the page. So I just thought I'd try free shipping again. I did it in the past, and as long as you bake it into the price, it's not a big deal. As soon as you start to see your revenue decrease, then maybe you shouldn't do it anymore, because obviously you're not taking it into effect, what you're doing. So this is $14.99 free ship. So shipping is going to cost like $4.64 on that. So basically made about $10 on that, or a little bit less than that. The next one that's sold, this is one of the ones I put up. It's a sealed copy of Banda Trio Fronteras, Latin world music, horn music, and it's sold $34.99 plus free shipping. So that's gonna be for my mouth to get used to. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. The next one, the customer ordered 5 CDs, and it's going international. So all I have to do is get it to the shipping hub in Elk Grove Village, Illinois, and I'm home free. But they spent $60 and 46 cents on 5 CDs. So you get this new copy of Tim Miner, and it is self-titled, and I think it's like hip-hop rap. The next one is Glasswork, House That Glass Built, rap, hip-hop, dance. It's also from the 90s. The next item that sold was this Mona Lisa, Partners in Pleasure, pop, rap, hip-hop, R&B, also from the 90s, and that sold. And then Rhythm Syndicate, rap, hip-hop, New Jack Swing, from the 90s as well. That doesn't have a title. The next and the last one is Oscar Spotlight, R&B, hip hop, soul, New Jack Swing, from 1992. So somebody has got 1992, 1990s fever there, and they're gonna get these 5 CDs for $60, 46 cents, and then $5 to ship it to Elk Grove Village, Illinois. And then I remember hearing a comment from Chris with Hot Lunch Reselling. Hot Lunch. Is it Hot Lunch or is it Box Lunch? It's one of those two. And he lives around Chicago, and I used to live in Bensenville, which is a neighboring neighborhood around Chicago. And I worked in Elk Grove Village, where Elk Grove Village is where that hub for eBay international shipping is. And he said he went out there, and this was in a video, but he said he went out there because he lives, I don't know, right on the edge of Chicago. Can't remember what that town is off Irving Park Road, but right before you get into Chicago, I can't remember what it is. But he said he went over there, and it's just a nondescript building. You wouldn't even know that stuff was going in and out of there from eBay, and it's just like a gray warehouse building with absolutely no signage that says that's what it is. So pretty interesting. Since I used to live around there, and I worked in Elk Grove Village at Dal Tile, off of 83 and in Elk Grove Village. So very interesting thing. The next item that sold was Denny Hines. I Like the Way. What does this say? Electronic Dance and Pop, 1998. And this sold for $16.49 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold was a sweater, and it's a rough hewn half quarter zip medium long sleeve pullover sweater. It's brown, and this sold for $12.99 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold was this CD, Adele Berthe, Little Trees. So that's that. It says electronic pop and rock, and it's from 1998, and this sold for $3.49 plus shipping on top. Definitely not the Adele that everybody really knows. The next item that sold was a soundtrack to the motion picture La Femme Nikita. It's an old movie from the 1990s. And that sold for $9.74 plus shipping on top. And they asked me in a note to please pack it carefully. The next item that sold are these pants 308. These are Chico's Platinum Mid-Rise Dark Wash denim blue jeans, size Chico size 2, I'm sure. And then, which is a regular or a large, US 10. So these sold for $18.74 plus shipping on top. The next item that sold was this baseball card. It is a 1986 Coca-Cola Chicago White Sox promo giveaway card with Tony La Russa, the manager. It is a single raw card and is as is. I'll ship it out in this, and then I have these small envelopes that I put it in, and it'll ship out like that. I might put a small piece of cardboard inside there to keep it from bending, but they don't like that at the post office sometimes. The next item that sold was a dress. So this Coldwater Creek dress sold. It is burnt orange, V-neck, sleeveless, fit and flare, size 10 medium dress, and it sold for $17.99 plus shipping on top. The next item was this skirt. It's American Eagle skirt. It's navy blue. It's pleated, and it sold for $5.99 plus shipping on top. The next thing that sold was this R. Kelly CD. R period is the title, and it's hip hop, rap, soul. This sold, it's new sealed, and it's $23.99 plus shipping on top. It's a bad boy. Okay, let's see here. The next item is this bin, and it's all Thomas the Tank, Thomas and Friends toys. So all of that is 87 pieces, airfield tower, trains and buildings, and track, and it sold for $82.49, and it's got $14.94 in shipping on it. So I've had this listed for a long time. We had bought the train table for my son, and they gave us all this Thomas stuff. I mean, extreme amount of Thomas stuff, and the table for like $100, right? And this was back kind of around COVID time when people were searching on Marketplace for a bunch of stuff. We thought he'd enjoy it. He really wasn't into Thomas the train. He would play with it occasionally, but I have pieced out and sold the parts to the Thomas thing, and I've tripled the money that we put into it. So we sold the table at a garage sale for 50 or $60. This is now going out at $82. There were other really expensive pieces in there that I've sold individually for $60 and $80. And I still think we still have a basket of stuff somewhere of just the engines and stuff. But anyway, this is leaving. It's a big item. It's gonna give me a bunch of space over there, and it sold for $82.49 plus $14.94 in shipping. The next item that sold was this Tim Wilson CD. I don't know if this is stand up or if like singing comedy or whatever. But it's a comedy album, 1874 plus $4.47 in shipping, and it's signed by him to somebody else when they came to the show or whatever. If things are signed, I mention it. I may price it up just a tad, but the people who are searching for these albums and stuff, I don't think they're necessarily swayed by an autographed item. Autographed hunters are looking for autographed items, not necessarily like somebody who's looking for an album cover or something like that. So I don't think it adds much value to the music CD or the vintage record or whatever that has an autograph on it. Sometimes it actually devalues it for the person who's getting it. But anyway, the next item that's sold is a book. It's I listed it. Did I list it as new? Listed it as new. It happens on Sunday, and it's got a lot of pictures in it of 2000s and 2000s football players. So it was a 2001 hardcover, and it has Reggie White did the forward on it. So $5 plus shipping on that. And then the last thing that sold this morning was this purple Calvin Klein long sleeve collared shirt, a 16/32/33, and it sold for $10.99 plus shipping on top. So that was everything that sold over the course of the weekend. Anything else going on? Just trying to in this area, I'm trying to like figure out my space situation. I got a lot of stuff piled up over here that gives me anxiety. That isn't going to be taken care of by my space saving endeavor, but the stuff over here back there will be taken care of, and there will just be the slightest bit more room to walk around in here, and that I think will help help me focus a little bit better. I think I'm going to go to a SKU system where every piece of clothing is like numbered, in bags, ready to go. It doesn't help for me showing it to you, because like holding it up and showing you, it's a little bit better than holding up a bag. But I think it's gonna save some space here, and probably if you started watching these videos way back when, I said a lot that I had no space issues, and I've come up against it recently that I'm running out of space. I'm pretty creative in like being able to like hide things or like stack things and stuff, but I've just recently come up against it, and we have a storage locker that we're trying to get everything out of, so other issues like that. But my saga with the bubble wrap ended. I sent back one of the boxes, tried to get eBay to give me another label for the second box, and they told me that the company had just refunded me the money, so no need for the second label. So got a bunch of bubble wrap without any perforations in it, so that was unacceptable. I can't really use that. I'm not gonna cut that with a scissor every time I have to do a CD. So I ended up buying bubble wrap from American Bubble Boy, and then I bought a case of tape from them as well because I'm running out of tape. And so I got this extra bubble wrap over here, 2 rolls of it that I didn't send back, and we'll see. I probably use it for packing, stuff up. When I don't really use bubble wrap that much because I don't do that much glass stuff, but when I do glass, I probably will use that then. Trying to think of anything else that I have purchased or done for the shop wise. Just the listing last week, and it really paid dividends this on these items that sold, because we sold a bunch of CDs. 17, I think it was 17 items that need to go out, and obviously then the bed selling last week was a big thing for me as well. So, and the end tables, so that takes 2 things off my plate, and I can focus on other stuff now. It's the Facebook Marketplace stuff. I really forget that it's even there, and that it needs to be relisted or updated, kind of thing. So those things are hard for me. I should put a reminder in a calendar or something, but I just I never do. So, but something just sold. Stories of International Poetry. Let me grab that and I'll show it to you. It just sold, so hold on. Okay, so this book, Stories of Life, International Library of Poetry. It's got an inscription inside of it. And this sold for $16.49. So, yay, another sale. We thank God for that. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Remember, if you don't know Jesus, pick up a Bible. Learn about Jesus. It makes life a lot easier to walk with Jesus than to not walk with Jesus. So find a church that believes in the Bible, and set up a community where you can find peace with Jesus and the people of God. So remember, when you find that cool thing in the resale shop or the garage sale or the estate sale this weekend, and there's no one around to give a high five, remember, give yourself a self high five. See you next time. Bye.